I'm William Smith, 17-year-old, Denver County. I work for Cottonwood Riding Club, home of the Denver Polo Club, and 5280 Equestrian. I started riding when I was 7 years old. I was always fascinated with horses. My therapist, who had been my family therapist, said she needed to leave early because she had to go out to the barn. And I said, barn? I love barns. My first foster home was awesome. Good people. Stayed with them for about a year or two. 5th grade, 6th grade, and then they ended up retiring. They were an older couple. Second foster home, they were just crazy people, and so I asked to move from that placement. The third foster home was marriage issues. The fourth foster home was the lady owned a restaurant and wanted us to work in a restaurant, which I didn't want to work in a restaurant, so we just butted heads, and I also asked to move from that placement. A student of mine, which is my niece now, her mom told me that her parents had foster kids and had adopted children, and if I ever needed help that I could always come to them. So I told her, yeah, I need to leave this place. Can I talk with your parents? So I met her parents. I was on my way home from the barn, and she met me on the light rail stop, one of the stops. I got out and we talked for like 2 hours. We just talked about everything, and then I left. She took me home, and 2 weeks later, I live with them now. With my guardian ad litem, I knew his name. I knew it was a man because I had spoken with him on the phone when I was in California. And that was one phone call. It would be better for you to be in Colorado, and that was the end of the phone call. So I knew it was a man. I knew his name, but I didn't know him. I didn't know what he looked like. My first time in court, which was my delinquency case when I met him, actually, then it was like, oh, this is my GAL. Tie the voice to the face, the voice that I heard 6 years ago. In terms of caseworkers, my very first caseworker, I thought she was the coolest lady. She came to pick me up from California and rode with me back, listened to me cry the entire time back. Why do I have to leave? I love it here. It's green. It just all goes back to education. That if you can educate a child prior to coming into the courtroom or even stepping foot in the court building, what's going to happen in the courtroom? Like they go in and they see cops or something, and it's like, you're going to go to jail. And they go in thinking, I'm going to go to jail. I didn't even do anything wrong. So if they can just have that talk with the judge, or that talk with their caseworker that says, this is what court is. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, this, more than likely, this is going to help you out. It's going to bail you out. Seeing things that they haven't seen. I remember being one of the GAL trainings that I went to, that was a really heavy conversation that we had, that what if the kid sees their dad that used to molest them or something, and they're just gonna go back to those bad memories. But I believe that it's beneficial for that kid to be there and be present, and know that something's happening to this person that broke their trust, that abused them. I think it's beneficial. Whether they don't understand or not, that's something that we should leave to the caseworkers or GALs to explain to the youth. Like, this is what's going to happen in the courtroom. And a 9-year-old can understand you saying this is what's going to happen. Obviously, they understand how to read. They can understand what's going to happen in a courtroom if it's explained to them.